Lotus Fly Animation. Welcome, Nurdin. Welcome to Black Economics TV. We're going to find out about the amazing work that you've been doing. This young man is very, very talented, and I think he's going to cause a stir around the world. So, Nurdin, tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself.
My name is Nurdin Momodu. I'm a 3D animator. I'm currently based in Nigeria. That's where I live. That's where I grew up. Grew up in Lagos. My childhood was, I come from a middle-class family, not rich, not poor, but middle class. I always drew when I was younger because I was very quiet when I was younger. And the only way I could express myself, I really was drawing. I always loved drawing. But most of my parents couldn't see a career in the arts because then I think we had a lot of starving artists. So I was persuaded not to pursue my career in arts.
Did you say
I'm much more focused on
starving artists? Is that what you said? Starving artists?
Yeah, there are a lot of starving artists. Yeah.
Oh.
Like back in when I was growing up, if you're an artist, most likely you're not making any money. Because the only way you could make money as an artist was doing paintings and then trying to sell them. And people didn't see the value in art, so it was very difficult to make a living off art here in Nigeria as at the time when I grew up. So I went to school to study medicine. I did like my 100 level, and then I dropped out. I didn't drop out, like I switched departments in my 200 level. My second year to microbiology because I didn't feel like studying. I didn't think I could, finish up as a doctor. I couldn't see myself as a doctor really. So like I did microbiology, I graduated and finished school. But after finishing school, for a year, I couldn't get a job. And I had to really do some soul searching and ask myself, do I want to search for a job in a career I wasn't happy about, or do I want to pursue my passion? And I always loved animation. I grew up watching cartoons a lot, especially Cartoon Network shows, Tom and Jerry, Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, and all. I grew up watching lots of cartoons. I was always watching cartoons. That was like the highlight of my childhood. That's what really just made me happy. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you? Yeah, that was kind of like the highlight of my childhood, the cartoons. And finishing university, I really wanted to pursue a career in animation, but I never thought it was a career. So I did some research. I went online, found out that there are people who are doing this for a living. I couldn't go to an animation school. First of all, there wasn't any in my country, and I couldn't afford to travel out to study animation. So I went on YouTube. I'm practically self-taught. I went on YouTube, watched tutorials, and trying to improve. I did that for a year, for like 8 months, and then I was able to get a job in a small animation company here in Lagos. I worked on commercials, mainly commercials. I did that for 2 years, but I was much more focused on storytelling. I wanted to tell stories, so I left there and I went to another company that was much more focused on storytelling. I did proof of concepts. I did short films. I did a couple of projects that were focused on storytelling. And then in 2019, I did that for 2 years as well. And then in 2019, I quit because I wanted to pursue my own dream and I had my own vision. I wanted to tell my own stories. I wasn't able to do that while I was there. So I quit. And then in 2019, I produced my proof of concept, Jagabaan. It's about a young boy who tries to take power from his father. Basically, that's like what it's about. I did that. I put it out there. I got some feedbacks from it. Some people liked it. And my company was focused there for a while because I had to pay the bills, and also I was more focused on freelance projects, which I did, and then to pay the bills and all while running my brand and all. And then early this year, I wanted to produce a kids show. I always wanted to produce it as in my own kids show because I just felt like I wasn't finding anything about Africa that I really wanted to watch on TV. And I think younger children will want to watch. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to produce my own TV show, my own kids show. So I created Time Tech Kids. It's about 2 kids who are from the future, but they don't really know anything about their history but they fly around in a spaceship with an AI, and the AI takes them to different times in African history. So they learn about their culture, they learn about the Kushite Empire, they learn about the Congo rainforest, different places in Africa they learn. And that's what I've been doing for the better part of this year. Hopefully I'm done with like 5 episodes, and I'm hoping to get the remaining funding to finish the 15 episodes, because I wanted to do like 20 episodes. So I've been able to produce 5, and I have 15 more episodes to go. So I'm currently trying to round up the 5 episodes, and then next year, maybe go for crowdfunding or find distribution platforms that can put it. All those other parts are not yet clear, but I just want to focus now and finish the 5 episodes, and then I know what to do. Then I figure out what I'm going to do next.
How long is each episode?
Each episode is going to be 3 minutes long. It's 3 minutes long because I could not produce any more than that with the resources I had. I asked myself, it's better to create something that is short with good quality than produce long, content and then it's not really good. So I said, each episode is not going to be more than 3 minutes.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's basically it.
So have you approached Nigerian TV stations to see if they will buy the 5 episodes you've done?
If I'm being honest, I'm really not focused. My content is really not focused on those local stations right now, because first of all, animation is not really appreciated that much because a lot of people are not exposed to animation. If I take those shows to TV networks, most likely it's going to be me having to pay to put it on my channel, and then I have to go find sponsors who are going to pay for that. It just feels like an archaic form of distributing content, and this is a digital age. I shouldn't have to go through that. If I have good content, I should have people who are willing to say, hey, look, we love this content. We want to put it on a platform, and how can we help you to continue producing? So my content is more focused on Africans in diaspora and blacks all over the world, really. That's my target audience, because a lot of them have kids growing up outside the continent and they don't know about their culture. So those are the people I want to tackle and focus more on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really, it'd be good if it found a marketplace in, say, UK, USA, Caribbean, and all around the world, really. Because even, I would imagine even Europeans, even white Americans, everybody should know the content that you have, because it's about history, isn't it? It's about a different way of presenting history with young Black characters. And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. So you said you've got 15 more episodes to do.
I have 15 more episodes. I've written the script for 10 episodes. I still have another 10 episodes to write, but I wrote the first 10 episodes. I produced 5, and I was like, I would hold on for now. Let me finish the first 5, and then see how I can fund and finish up the remaining episodes. So that's it.
So do you have a team that's working on this, or is this you mainly doing all the work?
Probably going to be impossible for me to do it all myself. I have a small team around me. I have about 4 animators. I have an environment artist. I have sound. Someone else producing the theme song for me, composing the theme song for me. That's a composer. Then I have someone else who's going to be working on sound effects for me. So I have people around me. They're not full-time, but I can only afford to engage them on a freelance base. But I have a team around who's working on this project with me.
Okay.
And I'm funding it myself.
Okay. Now let's talk about Jagabaan, the first one you did. Was that a one-off program or was that a series?
I made it, actually, that's supposed to be a series. But it's a lot more ambitious than time take it. And I just felt like I don't have the resources to produce this right now. So I'm just going to keep it aside. And then when I get to the point where I can fund and produce, then I bring it back, improve on the story, improve on the characters, because I have more than one characters for it, which I'll show you a little bit of it during just to get an idea of what those other characters are. That's it. That's basically, and that Jagabaan is more focused on preteens and teenagers. That's the target audience for that. More like Ben 10, Generator X, those kids' age range. That's the target for that.
Okay, and did you do one program of that for how many minutes?
That is just 3 minutes. That was 3 minutes. Yeah, that's just a proof of concept. 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me like you have enough to open the doors for people to either fund your project or to buy the project, because you've shown that you can produce it for 3 minutes, and for the second one, Time Tech Kids, you can produce it for 15 minutes, 3 times 5. So definitely should be able to open more doors in terms of getting it out across the world. So what about your team? How are you looking to expand on your team? Because I predict that this is going to be amazing. I think this is going to be really great. Once people start seeing it and realize how professional it is, the quality of it is amazing. Someone said it's like Pixar, but with Black characters. I just wonder, I think you're going to need 10 times the amount of people you have working with you. So are you looking at training people up so they can start working with you? Because I would imagine that your skills are not easily found out there.
Yeah, that's one of the major problems I'm facing here, having enough skilled hands who can come on production. And the problem with this is it's not something that can be rushed. You can't train an animator for 1 year and put him on the projects. For the level of quality that I'm trying to go for, they need to at least be doing this for like 2-3 years to get to a point where I feel like, okay, I think your skill is good enough for you to be on the project. So that's a major problem. So if I get the funding to produce this show, my intention is to make sure I have all the production, all the production, pre-production team here in Africa, people who are going to make the concept arts, people who are going to create the environment from scratch, the initial animators who are going to do the test animation, all the pre-production stage of the animation, the look dev, what's going to look like, the script writing and all those are going to be done here in Africa. And then the animation part itself, probably subcontracted to either India or Thailand to do a bulk of the animation there, and then get the files back and then do the finishing here in Nigeria. That's the goal. Because there's just not enough skilled hands to handle the projects at that magnitude right now.
Okay. Well, I think it would be interesting for you to look at even a company like Pixar, how they started and how they developed, because that should be your target in terms of how big you want to be, the biggest animation company in Africa. I think that would be absolutely wonderful because you have a big market for it. You have 1.3 billion people in Africa, and it's not just children and teens who want to watch it. Adults want to watch it too. And then you have all the people across the world who are hungry for something which is different, And I think it's also important for you to train as many people as possible or hire people who might have some skills, I know that we, need to look at funding and how we can raise funding and so on. But you have to do it before somebody else sees what you're doing and decides that they're gonna beat you to it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but there are two things I believe in. Two things that I say. Yeah, while this is a business, there cannot be two of me. Yeah, there could be somebody else as good as me or even better. who's going to produce something else? But there can't be two of me. There is only me, and people connect to my art because of me, because of what I do. That's the number one thing. There is no competition in arts. There's so many movies out there. There's so many TV series. There's so many studios out there. They all compete for the market. So I feel the market is big enough for everybody. That's the first one I would say. Then second of all is funding and getting the right people around you. We all know that nothing moves without money. I need money to train people. I need money to produce content. You need money for all of that. Everything you've seen so far has come from my own pockets, because I'm not really good at going out there to, try and pitch my idea and tell people about it first. Everything is in my head. I just believe in bringing it out. Then you can now see it, and then I just prefer to just bring it out visually. You now see it and be like, okay, is this something I like or not? I don't know how to go out there and try and pitch from scripts, and I don't know how to do that. So what I just tell myself is, look, I have it in my head. The best way I can show people is to produce it. And then produce what I can, and people can now see it from there and be like, okay, this guy has gotten the ball rolling. How can we support? That's how I just am. And that's why everything has been done from my pockets.
Yeah, and you do freelance projects for other people as well, don't you?
Yeah, so I do freelance projects, and the money I make from there. In fact, the whole money I made during the pandemic is what I use in producing these 5 episodes, really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not too bad. That's good. Okay, can you show us some examples of your work then, please? You can share your screen.
So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, these are some of the projects I've been working on. This is Hakeem. He's the main character in my proof of concept, Jagabaan. His father is a tyrant who has ruled his land for so long. And he feels like there's so much poverty in his land, and he believes his father is not doing the right thing to make sure that his people are okay. So his goal is to not overthrow his dad, not necessarily do it in a very violent way, but overthrow the previous government and then restore a form of government who will care about the people. The reason, the inspiration for this story, Jagabaan, is based on the things that go on in my country. Okay, so this is one of the characters, Jagabaan, I just spoke about. He's inspired by my country's government, what's going on, where there's so much corruption, and the young people feel like it's time for them to take charge of their lives and make sure that the next generation or this generation doesn't have to suffer what the previous government had done. So that story is based on what's going on in my country. That's the way I got the inspiration for the Jagabaan. So this is the main character in Jagabaan.
And what year did you create this?
This character was made in 2015.
Yeah.
It was made in 2015. But over the time, I've just been trying to develop the character, his motivations, the story itself. The story is still a work in progress because I don't have a full story yet. But basically, it's a young boy with a team of his friends who try as much as possible to take back their future from a corrupt government. That is the major theme of the story, Jagabaan. Well, maybe I can share another character again. I don't know what. I'm trying to share my whole screen. I don't know why I can't. Okay, let me just do this. Can you see my screen, please?
Yeah.
So you can see you can see there are different characters.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay, better. Okay, better then. All right. So another thing I was going to show again. I was going to show you another of my characters. This is one of them. This is Halima. She's best friends. She's best friends with Hakim, and she's one of the people who helped him, overthrow the tyrant leader and all. She's smart, she's calculated, but she loves fashion, but she's really educated herself. So that's one of the characters.
The ideal woman, yeah?
Yeah. And this is Hakim in like he stands. I just made an animation test with him. That's that. And then this is Blue. He's the muscle of the team. He doesn't talk much, but he will do anything. He will lay down his life to protect Hakim. He's more like his bodyguard, but a very good friend of his. This is Blue. I don't know if can you still see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
That's Blue. And then this is fantastic, Mr. Hoppets. He's the tech guy in their team. He's very good with gadgets. He can come up with different kinds of gadgets. He's a talkative. He always carries a backpack with him wherever he goes. He's a clown in the group. That's who he is. Yeah. And the last character that I can show is the Nemesis. He's like he's like one of the major bad characters. He's like a bounty hunter who goes after them and tries to protect the system from getting better. So this is one of the characters. So he's more brutish, and I take inspiration from our military because they're more brutish and they don't, human rights is not something that they pay too much attention to. So that's
okay.
This character. So that's all I can show for now.
What about the dads?
Those are still under. I'm still working on that. It's not done. Okay. So there's still some other characters I'm still working on.
Yeah,
they're not done yet.
Yeah, there was a guy I saw on your Instagram that was sitting there with a drink.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I could talk a little bit about that as well. Just excuse me quickly. Let me just
because I thought he looked really interesting. I felt like I could even write a story about him. There was just so much in that picture,
Yes. For some reason, I don't think it's in my hard drive, and my hard drive is currently not. It's not with me here right now as we speak.
All right. Shall I find it on Instagram?
Yes, please. If you could find it and share, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, let's see if I can.
He's on Instagram.
Well, here he is. Can you see it?
Oh, yes, I can.
I thought that picture has like 1,000 stories in it.
Yeah. I used to talk about this character for a while, but I stopped talking about it because it's like I talk too much about it, and it's a project that I haven't finished. I started working on this project about 4 years, almost 4 years ago, or 4 years ago. Yes, I've been working on this for 4 years. So basically, this character is this is a very personal story to me. The reason I'm trying to tell this story, his name is Sunday Mutuku. It's basically a man who was told he has a terminal illness and how he goes through the stages of grief until he gets to final acceptance and seek whatever medical treatment is available. That's what this story is about. The emotional turmoil he goes through within and how he takes the news and how he conquers it. That's what this story is about. And the reason this story is very personal to me is because I lost my dad in 2017. This short film is going to be dedicated to him. He died in 2017. He had liver cancer, and when he was sick, I could see him go through the stages of grief. There were times when he was just always angry. There were times when he was just very sad. Different times. So I picked those experiences and then try to put it. This is not an interpretation of my dad. So Mutuku, he's not my dad. It's just me taking the emotional turmoil and then putting it into a character and just showing the conflict and also trying to pass the message across to people, letting people know that even those who are terminally ill, they grieve for themselves, just like the way we grieve for a loved one who has passed away.
Yeah.
So it's very, it's a deep story, but
well,
it's a story I think
it's a powerful picture.
Yeah.
It really is a powerful picture. I mean, if you gave this to 10 people and you said, you give no words, no story, and you just give the picture and you say, okay, guys, write 10 different stories about this. I think it'd be really interesting what people come up with.
Yeah.
It's a work of art in itself.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
but hopefully my plan is to release it next year, because I'm like about 60 to 70% done with it. I'm currently animating. I'm just able to employ another animator to work with me on the project, because my workload is getting too much. I'm producing Time Tech Kids. I have to do freelance jobs, and I can't still animate this all on my own at the same time. And these projects have deadlines, and they're supposed to be out there. So whatever money
I
understand. Whatever money I make from freelance, I use it. I pay other people to help, get my project out. So that's it.
Okay. All right. So,
thank you very much.
How do your parents feel about what you're doing now? How's your mum feel about it now? Because I remember you saying that they didn't think that art was a good thing.
Yeah, that was much younger, but when I couldn't get a job and I decided to pursue animation, my parents were actually very supportive of me. My mom bought me my first graphic tablets that I used, and my dad was the person who told me to go, because when I was in my final year, I told him I wanted to learn animation and I wanted to drop out, and he told me, "You're almost done with school. Why not just wait and finish school first?" So when I finished school, when I was in school, I just forgot about animation. So when I finished school, he now told me when I was looking for a job, "I remember you wanted to drop out to learn animation. Why not go and do it right now?" And that single word he made, that single statement is the reason I'm here right now. So both parents had roles to play at different times. They had different roles to play. Yeah.
And it's interesting that you started learning on YouTube. I mean, I say to people that you can learn anything on YouTube. You name it, you can learn it, because people are so kind that they put these things up for free. So well done. Well done with you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, then. Well, you take care, Nurdin. Thank you for what you've done. Unique. There's no other Nurdin anywhere else around the world. So if you want to support him, then we're going to put links underneath this video where people can contact you directly, or where they can donate to your work, or where they can buy your programs, your products, or whatever. Okay, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Really wish you much success.